Hey everyone, welcome to Yogaground. Nice to be back here. I'm Maggie with Petra. I'm going to be guiding you through a 45-minute flow. So let's see. You don't need any props specifically, but I do love to use blocks. If you like to use blocks and you have them handy, just place them at the top of your mat. Otherwise, you can get creative with a big book or something else to support you. We are going to be working on the spine today, spanda, and standing balancing poses. So when you're ready, let's get started. We'll begin lying down on our backs. As you arrive on your back, go ahead and bend your knees. Place your feet about hip distance apart. Just take a moment to lift and wiggle all 10 toes. Nice deep breath here to settle into the ground. Feel the ground supporting you and holding you up. Maybe you like to turn your hands so that the palms are facing up. Breathing a little bit of space into the chest, the upper back, and the shoulders. Take a moment to pay attention to the low back. Release any tension, any tightness. And simply surrender the weight of your body. And start to cultivate a slightly deeper breath. Maybe to begin, you like to breathe in through the nose and even out through the mouth. And when you feel like you've released and settled in, lightly seal your lips and continue to breathe in and out through your nose. And then on your next inhale, you're going to slowly extend your arms up overhead. Take a moment to just stretch through the sides of your waist. Maybe now you wiggle your fingers. And then as you grab for opposite elbows, I want you to heel toe your feet about mat width apart and allow your knees to knock in towards one another. So you've got opposite elbows. If that's too much, just opposite wrists. The feet are wide, the knees are together. You might notice that the low back is arced up off the ground. Just breathe into the spine, the upper back, the neck, and the shoulders. And let's take one more breath right here. And then release your arms, gather your knees all the way in towards your chest. Lengthen through the low back, and then maybe a little self-massage here, circling the knees a couple of times, one direction, and then back the other way. And then place the feet back onto the earth, feet, knees, hip distance apart. Gather your right knee in towards the chest. You can start to extend your left leg out long. Use a little bit of arm strength here to pull into the hip joint. And then nice and easy, we're going to take the right knee over to the left for a twist. So maybe you keep the left hand on the right thigh for a little bit of support, or you can release and extend the left arm out as well. Breathe into the outer hip, the low back, the mid back, the upper back, the shoulders. And then slowly release, come back to center and bend your left knee. Now take both of your knees and drop them to the right side of the room. Now you can stay right here, or you can extend your left leg out towards the right. You can use your right hand to catch the thigh. Maybe it's the calf or ankle. Maybe it's the outside edge of your foot. Breathe one more breath right here. And then slowly release it and come back to center. So we're going to switch sides here, gathering the left knee in towards the chest, and then extend the right leg out long. Use a little arm strength here to pull deep into the hip joint. And then when you're ready, left knee comes across to the right for your spinal twist. Take it easy, take it slow, step by step. You can move a little bit deeper till you meet that resistance. And you just breathe into any tight places in the body. Last breath. And then slowly release it. Placing the left foot down, bend the right knee. And then we drop both knees to the left side. You can stay right here, or you can extend your right leg out to the left side. And then maybe you catch hold of the leg, the outside edge of your foot. One more breath. And release it. When you come back to center, give yourself another nice big hug. Gather the knees in towards the chest. Maybe this time your forehead in towards the knees. And release it. Go ahead and cross at the ankles. Start to rock and roll up and down. If that doesn't feel good, you can always roll to one side or the other and just press yourself up. And then we'll meet together sitting back on our heels. So uncurl your toes to begin here. Sit back on the heels, nice and tall, shoulders right over your hips. We're going to breathe the arms back up overhead. Wiggle those fingers. Breathe into the sides of your waist. Maybe look up. And then you can again grab for opposite elbows. When that's too much, opposite wrists. We're going to breathe the forearms back behind, chin in towards the chest. And release it. Allow the arms to come down, roll into your shoulders a couple of times. And then bring your hands, palms together in front of your heart. Interlace all 10 fingers. Press the palms forward. Chin can come back into your chest. On your next inhale, reach your arms up. Allow your gaze to follow if that feels okay on the neck. And then we're going to take that clasp of the hands. We're going to place it behind the base of your skull. So just supporting the weight of your heavy head. Inhale to open the elbows wide. And then exhale without pulling, elbows in and down, chin to chest. And we're just going to repeat this simple movement. Inhale, elbows wide, look up. And then exhale, elbows in and down. Couple more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now stay here, no pulling, just gently rock your head from right to left. Just take your gaze, look to one side and then the other. And then release it. Let the arms go again, circle into the shoulders. And then lift your hips up off your heels, curl your toes in and under, deep toe stretch. Now I know this is not everyone's favorite. It can be very intense, but I had a teacher once tell me, find your least favorite pose, practice it 3 times a day, and now it's become one of my favorites. So there's lots of benefits to this deep toe stretch, but for the sake of today's practice, it's really beneficial to stretch out through the fascia of the feet, to spread the toes. So if this is incredibly intense or painful for you, just come in, come out, come in, come out. Practice, practice, practice. So staying here for just a couple more breaths. Try to relax the shoulders, relax your face. Maybe even just a moment to close your eyes. Great opportunity to set an intention for your practice. And then all together here, inhale, reach your arms out and up, big stretch. Hands come through heart center, release those toes, tabletop, you can press or even pound it out. From tabletop, we curl those toes right back in and under, downward facing dog. So slow and steady here, peel those hips up and back and start to pedal out through your feet. Little walk in place here, lift one heel, press down through the opposite. And use your next exhale to breathe your heels towards the earth. Maybe they don't touch down. And then we're going to take the right ankle up and back over the left. You're going to squeeze the legs together. Yeah, press the ankles together. Zip the legs. Send the hips up and back. And then release it. Go ahead and switch. Take the left ankle up and over the right. Zip the legs, squeeze, press back. And release it. Now take your time and just walk your way to the top of your mat. And when you get there, soft bend to the knees, ragdoll, maybe opposite elbows or wrists. Shake it off, sway side to side. Nice opportunity here to take another cleansing breath. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, if that feels good. And then your feet about hip distance apart. Placing your right hand down in between the feet, but forward. So you have a nice triangle here beneath you. We're going to bend the right knee, root through the right fingers, and take the left arm up. Now you should feel this gentle twist coming from the mid-back. Breathe into the outer left hip. Stay rooted through the left heel as you reach up. And then release all the way down. Go ahead and switch. So replace the right hand with the left. Bend the left knee. Start to reach your right arm up. So finding the twist from the mid-back. Breathe into the shoulders. And release it. Soft bend to your knees as you roll to rise. So allow your head to come up last. And once the head comes up, roll into the shoulders. Lift and wiggle your toes. Just reconnect to the ground. And then together, inhale, reach those arms up. Exhale, we fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. You can take the hands up onto the shins if you like. And then exhale, we're gonna step the right foot back. Arrive here, take an inhale. And then exhale, place your right knee down. Walk your hands up onto the left thigh. Just one more breath, uncurl your back toes. Now you're gonna stay rooted through the left hand to support you, and you're gonna reach your right arm up and over. Find a nice side body stretch here. Breathing into the psoas, the hip flexor, the side of your waist, all the way to your fingertips. And then as you release it, come back through center. Take your right elbow across the left knee. Bring your hands, palms together. A little bit of leverage from the hands pressing in towards one another to take your gaze back. One more breath. And release it. Hands are gonna come down to frame the foot. Curl your back toes in and under, look forward. And you step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, switch, step your left leg back. Inhale here, lengthen through the spine. And exhale, place the left knee down. Bring your hands up for support, uncurl the back toes. And then root through the right hand and breathe your left arm up and over. Nice and easy with the eyes, the gaze, the neck. So maybe it feels good to look up, maybe you wanna look down. Pay attention to those fine details. One more breath here, lengthening up and over, a nice crescent moon shape with the spine. And then release out and we take it into a gentle twist. So the left elbow comes across the right knee. Hands, palms come together. Press. Easy does it. Take your gaze back. And then go ahead and release it. Hands frame the foot. Curl the back toes in and under. And then look forward, step back to the top of your mat. Lengthen and lift. And fold. Roll to rise, head's gonna come up last. Once the head comes up, right away, breathe those arms out and up. And right away, exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, right foot steps back. Now inhale, lengthen through the crown. Exhale, scissor your legs together. That action of stepping forward. And we rise, high crescent lunge. So take those arms up. Big circle of the arms back down and around, interlace and clasp. Yeah, now reach those knuckles back towards your right heel. So think lengthen the spine. Pay attention to any compression of the low back. So keep lengthening through the sacrum and lift the thumbs. One more breath here. And then release the clasp, left hand supports, right arm reaches up and over. So we are really working into the spine here, lots of different directions. And where the sponda comes in is that primordial pulse, that little vibration. It literally means to move just a little. So even though we're holding stagnant, go ahead and release. Take your right elbow across the left knee. There's a little pulse, a little vibration. There's energy moving through our bodies. As we cultivate strength, maybe a little tremble or shake. One more breath here. And release, hands down, frame the foot, look forward, step to the top of the mat. Exhale, release. Inhale halfway and switch. Step the left foot back. So scissoring those legs together. That action like you're gonna step to the top of the mat. That's where you'll find your balance to rise up high crescent. A big opening of the shoulders, circle the arms back down and around, interlace and clasp. And once you've got that clasp, find length, knuckles towards the heel. As you find your balance, your stability, maybe you search for a little bit more space. The thumbs away from the low back. Release, right hand supports left arm up and over. Big side body stretch. Releasing out, coming through center, taking the left elbow across. Come back into that twist. Prayer hands, gaze back. And release it. Hands come down to frame the foot. And we step to the top of the mat. Lengthen and lift. And release and fold. Root through those feet, roll to rise, head comes up last. Once you rise up, gather up that space, reach, and right away we fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, we step back to plank. Lead with the right, lead with the left, doesn't matter. Find your way there, and then shift your weight to the right. Shift your weight to the left. Shift the weight forward. Shift the weight back. Find center and take your right ankle up over the left. So just like we did in down dog, cross the ankle, zip the legs, root through the hands, release and switch. Left ankle up and over the right. Beautiful, release it. Drop your knees, bend your elbows, come down onto your belly. Uncurl your toes. Inhale, cobra lift. Exhale, release it all the way down. Now widen your hands a little bit. Stay high on your fingertips, and you're gonna lift the chest to look over your right shoulder. Maybe you can see the right heel. Release it down through center. Go ahead and come up and then look over the left. You can see the left heel. And release. Once you lower the chest down, reach your arms back, interlace and clasp all 10 fingers. Stay rooted through the tops of your feet first. Find that clasp, and then inhale, lift your chest. As you lift the chest, reach the knuckles back towards your heels. If it feels okay on the low back, no compression, lift the feet. Stay here, maybe you float the thumbs away from the low back. Hold. And release it, let it go. Hands under the shoulders, press yourself up and back. A moment here in child's. So the knees can be together, the knees can be hip distance apart. It's really up to you. A nice counter stretch here is the knees together. This will help compress the belly, round the back, and allow you to release the weight of your head. Now, if you're like me and you tend to carry lots of tension in the neck and the shoulders, maybe you want to rock on the forehead, just turning your gaze right and left, little massage of your third eye center. Another great opportunity here to take a cleansing breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then on your next inhale, rise up, pass through tabletop, curl your toes in and under, back to downward facing dog. So maybe you pedal it out for a moment, just reconnect to those hamstrings. Breathe the heels down towards the earth. And on your next inhale, we'll take the right leg up and back. So 3-leg dog here. Pay attention that you're not lifting the leg up too high. Square those hips. Point, flex, wiggle the toes. Take another inhale to prepare. And then exhale, step the foot forward in between your hands for lunge. Scissor those legs together. We rise back to crescent. Reach. This time as you exhale, bend your arms to cactus. Lift your heart. Release the arms. As you do, lead with the left arm. Big circle to take you open to warrior 2. Beautiful. Arrive. Gaze forward. And then we reach both arms up. We turn the right toes in, star pose. And then as you release both heels in, horse stance. So god or goddess, deep wide squat here. Backside of the hands can press into the inner thighs. One more breath. And release. Big circle of the right arm leading you back to warrior 2. Inhale to reverse your warrior. And then you carry all that length with you to cartwheel the arms, to frame the foot, and to step back down dog. From down dog, inhale it forward to plank. From plank, with or without your knees, bend the elbows. Back onto the belly for cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, we'll meet back together, downward facing dog. Take a breath. And then inhale, left leg up and back. So not too high, square those hips. Circle the ankle, point and flex the foot, wiggle those toes. Now inhale to prepare. Exhale, step the foot forward. In between the hands and arrive. Scissor the legs together. And then rise high crescent. Big breath in. Exhale, cactus the arm. Expand through the chest. And then we release the arms down. Big circle of the right arm to lead you into warrior 2. Arrive for a moment, gaze forward. And then star pose, turn the left toes in, reach up. Both heels in, toes out. Horse stance. One more breath. Circling the right arm to lead you back into warrior 2. Reverse, take the left arm up and back. And then we cartwheel the arms, frame the foot, and step back down dog. From down dog to plank. With strength, control, integrity, bend those elbows onto the belly for cobra or upward facing dog. And we meet back together, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Inhale, right leg up and back. Right away, exhale, step the foot forward. Inhale, rise up, high crescent. Exhale, cactus those arms. Lead with the left arm, big circle, warrior 2. Inhale, right toes in, star pose. And then bend those knees, heels in, toes out, horse. One more breath. Maybe you reach those arms up. And then we meet back together, warrior 2, facing the front. 2, reverse your warrior. Cartwheel those arms and flow it through. So step back, down dog. Inhale, breath leads you forward to your plank. With or without those knees. Big breath in, chest expansion. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. One more time here, left side, inhale, leg up. Right away, exhale, foot forward. Inhale, rise. Exhale, cactus. Open to warrior two. Arrive strong and steady. And then star pose. Coming into horse stance, heels in, toes out. Maybe you take both arms up. And we meet back together, warrior two, facing the front. Reverse your warrior. And then flow through. Hands come down, step it back, downward facing dog. Two plank pose. Modify as you need. And then we meet one another back in down dog. Couple of breaths here. Feel free to sigh it out. Now we're moving into balance, floating the right leg up and back. Stepping the foot forward to lunge. Now kind of putting all of these pieces together. Take your gaze forward but down. Stay high on those fingers. And we're gonna launch ourselves forward to balance warrior three. So strong right leg, take the left leg up. Maybe the hands stay down. Maybe you've got your blocks for a little bit of support. Maybe you come up and reach those arms back like airplane wings. So strongly rooted through the right leg, reach back through the left heel, crown of the head forward. Release, hands come down, listen carefully. You're gonna bend both knees, but now you're gonna take the left knee behind the right. You're gonna squeeze those knees together and you're gonna come down and sit. Easy does it. Both hips are connected into the earth. And then you're gonna breathe your left arm up and over. It comes across and you twist. So easy seated twist here, no force. Really finding that length in this spine as you gaze back. One more breath here. And then release the twist. Now take your right leg back behind the left, little staggered seat. And then we're gonna twist to the left side. Right hand can come across. Gaze can be down or back. Pay attention to the shoulders. Just breathe into that pulse of the breath expanding and contracting the belly. And then release it. You can gather your right ankle in front of the left. You can root down through the hands and step back, downward facing dog. Paddle it out if you like. Take a moment to arrive steady and still. Then we send the left leg up and back. Exhale, step the foot forward to lunge. When you arrive high on those fingers, gaze is very important, your drishti. And so it's the same action, like we're gonna step forward or we're gonna rise up. So you press down through the left foot and you launch yourself forward. Use the strength and stability of the legs to just sort of explore. Maybe the fingertips stay down or on props. Maybe you start to rise and hover or reach. This is all part of the practice. Lengthening through the spine here for one more breath. And then release it, hands come down. Now we take the right knee behind the left. You hug those legs together. Easy does it. Come to sit down. Moment to really make any adjustments so that you're grounded through the hips. Breathe the right arm up and across to twist. Yeah, nice and easy here, looking back. Release your twist. Come to center. Take your left leg back behind. So that's staggered seat. And then we twist towards the right. Breathing into that subtle pulsation here. And then release it. You can take your left leg, cross the ankle, transition however you like, back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out, take a breath. And then lift those heels high, drop those knees. Take your right arm, breathe it straight up towards the ceiling. And then send your right arm all the way underneath the left. So here the spine is nice and warm. If you want to take your left arm, wrap it back behind and bind, you can. So the bind not only looks beautiful, but is supposed to feel good, spacious, expansive, and when and if it doesn't, come out of the bind. So yoga is supposed to ease suffering, not cause it. Make sure that even when you're challenged, you're not bringing pain sensation into the body. One more breath. And then go ahead and release it. Breathe through the left hand to press and rise up. And then right away, I want you to round your back into cat, like your most exaggerated cat pose ever. Chin to chest, tailbone long. Just hold for a moment. And release it. Take your left arm up. Reach, reach, reach. And then thread the arm through. Come all the way down, other side. Really melt into the ground once again, so feel the earth's support. Let the weight of your heavy head go. Wrap and bind if you like. And then slowly start to come out of the bind. Press down through the right hand to rise. And again, round your spine into cat. And go ahead and release it. Walk your hands back. Come to sit on your heels. And then you can widen your knees just a little bit. What's important here in this next pose that we do, a counter pose to what we just did, is that the knees stay down. So the knees can be together, the knees can be apart, but we don't want the knees lifting. Yeah? So we're gonna bring the hands to the low back. You're gonna guide your elbows together as much as you can, lengthen through the low back, sacrum, and lift your sternum, your chest. Maybe this is where you stay. If you want to take it a little deeper, hands come back behind, high on the fingertips. Fingertips point away. Pause here, roll the shoulders back. And again, lift the belly, the rib cage, the heart. Look up. Maybe you stay right here. Otherwise, you can root down through the hands, palms, and start to lift your hips up off your heels. Breathe once again into the front hip flexor, the psoas, no compression of the low back. Only drop the head if it feels good. And release it. Slow and steady, come back to center. Roll into the shoulders. And then we take the right arm across. So the right arm's gonna come across. You can use your left forearm to pull in or your left hand. But what tends to happen is the right shoulder comes up towards the ear. Roll it back and down. Breathe into that same resistance as threading the needle. And then we use the left hand to send the right arm up and back. Grab hold of the elbow and see if you can reach your right fingertips down your spine. And go ahead and release it and switch. Take the left arm across. Use the hand or the forearm, some leverage to pull in, shoulder down. Using your right hand to send the elbow up and back, fingers down the back side of your body. And release it. Roll into those shoulders. Last posture we're going to do here, dolphin pose, down on the forearms. So a couple of different ways to enter in. You can keep the forearms parallel to one another, hands rooted into the ground, or you can interlace all 10 fingers one more time. So you choose. I like to interlace and clasp because again, you have this triangle base of foundation. So we root down through the forearms, through the fingers, we curl the toes in and under, and just like down dog, you peel those hips up and back. Now the head stays up above the ground. Nice way to check in and make sure there's space is to just turn the head again, right to left. Even though the heels are much higher up off the earth, the action is still pressing the heels down. Just a couple more cycles of breath here, dolphin pose. Let's take one more breath all together. And then lift those heels high, drop those knees, hips back towards the heels for child's, and bring prayer hands up overhead. So you can take this opportunity to walk the elbows a little bit further away from you, maybe the elbows a little closer towards one another. Meet that intensity, that resistance, and try to let your heavy head go. And when you're ready, release the hands. Rise up back through tabletop and transition to come and lie on your back. So once you return to where you began, you can hug those knees in. Maybe a little massage of the low back. A couple of circles each direction. And then place the feet, knees, hip distance apart. And take your right ankle over the left knee. Now I like to take my right hand to the inner thigh, not to press the hip open, just as sort of like a gentle reminder. Because the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly collapse to the left, but I want you to keep this shape of the legs. So when you start to collapse to the left, it's like you wanna place the right sole of your foot on the earth. And what tends to happen is the hip closes. But I want you to keep breathing that hip open. Maybe you extend out through the arms if that feels nice. And take your time coming back to center. Release it. And switch. Maybe the left hand to the thigh to remind the hip to stay open. Keep this position of the legs as you collapse to the right. Maybe the left sole of the foot is just hovering above the ground. Maybe you can get the full sole of the foot to connect. And go ahead and release it. Once the feet have reconnected to the earth, little windshield wiper of the knees, go ahead and place one hand on your belly, the other hand over your heart. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow the knees to butterfly apart. Softening and closing the eyes and just using the hands to help you stay present, connected to the breath, right here, right now. A wonderful opportunity to return to the intention you might have set. Or maybe you feel inspired to set one now to carry with you throughout the rest of your day or the week ahead. And in your own time, whenever you feel ready, you can use the hands to close the knees and to find your way into Shavasana. And consciously place your feet about mat width apart. Maybe rocking the toes in and out a couple of times. Feet splay open like a book. Hands, palms facing up. Let every one of your muscles completely relax. Give into that gravitational pull. Yet simultaneously acknowledge the ground supporting you and holding you up. Give yourself full permission to stay here as long as you want or need. As always, my pleasure to guide you through your practice. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.